Requiem. John Edgar Hoover, better known as J. Edgar Hoover, has been the most powerful man in the world since his ascension to the FBI's top chair in 1929. 4 decades later, Hoover continues to be the preeminent law enforcement officer in the world. Still, recent public reports claim Hoover has been using government resources to spy on Americans and even commission the death of those considered subversive. After stolen FBI files were sent to media outlets, Hoover started to hear murmurs of a possible forced retirement or even criminal charges against him. Hoover's paranoid view of law enforcement was coming to light. The discovery of the FBI's COINTELPRO program frightened many within and outside of the government. And the possible direct sanctioned assassination of Black Panther Fred Hampton seemed too much to stomach. The evening of May 1st, 1972, ended like many evenings over the last month for FBI Director Hoover. With Hoover scouring local newspapers and national tabloids for his impending demise, he has been paying particular attention to the Washington Post and New York Times' front and editorial pages to see if there was any public sentiment toward his possible forced retirement. Hoover's driver pulls up to his Northwest Washington residence. "Director, we're here," announces the driver. Director Hoover looks up to find that he has arrived at his home. The director gives the driver a half smile and exits the vehicle. Hoover walks into his empty house with a resounding thud of his front door. After going through his mail, the director walks upstairs. Hoover walks into his bedroom. Sitting in his love seat is Richard Teed. "A ghost from my past," alleges a calm Hoover. "Mr. Director," greets Teed. "You could have made an appointment at my office," suggests Hoover. "Not sure we want to talk about this in your office, Director Hoover," replies Teed. "Oh," asserts Hoover as he plops down on his couch. "Why is my name in a file that the FBI is keeping with your blessing? The files connect Danya and me to the King and Kennedy murders," claims Teed. Hoover scoffs. "Not only you and Ms. Frank, but all of the 8 men and their families. You all made too much money without me. I watched over the decades while the 8 men made absurd amounts of money, most by scheming and cheating the American people and calling it good business." Teed responded, "Are you kidding me? You are concerned with the American people being cheated? You spy on their leaders, and those you can't leverage, you kill," banters Teed with a certain venom. Hoover starts to laugh. "That sounds like a man who has a guilty conscience," he added. "Why the dossier on all of us?" questions Teed. "Mr. Teed, we are all in the information business. I needed to know your information as well as the group's in case I needed the proper leverage one day," admits Hoover. "That wasn't needed," alleges Teed. "Easy for you to say. There were some compromising pictures of me many years ago. Some of the men in this group controlled me with those pictures," remarks a reflective Hoover. Teed feels pity for the aged bureaucrat. He thought the decades of Hoover trying to keep his secret could have caused a major incident. As Teed is feeling some sort of pity for Hoover, Director Carter and Danya Frank walk in. "Looks like the gang is all here," mocks Hoover. The squirrel walks in behind them. "You are traveling with Negroes now, Carter," teases Hoover. "He found your damaging info, Edgar," divulges Carter. "We all have info. Are you trying to tell me that you don't have info on these people, Carter? If you don't, you're a damn fool," verbalizes Hoover as he directs his comments toward Teed, Danya, and the squirrel. "Any information I have is not for blackmail," affirms Carter. "That's what you say today. What happens the day they don't agree with you? and become a threat. Then you will pull out your information to get them in line, or you will simply kill them, proclaims Hoover. Danya, Teed, and the squirrel look at each other like Hoover may be speaking prophetically about their future. Where is your information? Do these young people have it? Or is the collection of information all one way? Snickers Hoover. Edgar, who has seen this info? Queries Carter. No one but the president wants it. He knows your group exists. I have kept him at a distance, but Nixon is coming for it. I think he's waiting for my death to go through my papers. So I guess you need to keep me alive, declares Hoover. Carter stares deep into Hoover's eyes and addresses him. Edgar, you played this all wrong. Your important papers are here. We will get all the papers tonight, concedes Carter as Teed and the squirrel restrain Hoover. What are you doing? Asks a struggling Hoover. Danya pulls out a syringe. Mr. Hoover, this is going to make you very sleepy, utters Danya. A permanent sleep. Goodbye, Edgar, announces Carter as he walks out. Hoover fades off into a deep sleep. His eyes roll back into his head as his body goes limp. Now what? Inquires Teed. In the morning, Hoover's maid or butler will discover his lifeless body. He will have died of a massive heart attack, says Carter matter-of-factly as he walks out of the room. That is a bad dude, remarks the squirrel as he and Teed watch Carter leave.